Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be going over problems 1 through 5 from the 2019 grades 3 to 4 Math Kangaroo question paper. Let's get started with question number 1. Question number 1 says, what do you get when you invert the colors? Well, the key word to remember is invert. Invert means the opposite or the flip of the colors. So basically if we have the entire circle is black in this figure, then in all the options the entire color should be yellow because that is the invert or the opposite color. Now let's look at option A. Option A shows us this figure. This figure shows us this dot is black and this dot is yellow. So in both figures the colors are inverted, which is correct. Now if we look closely, we can see this dot from figure A is never shown in the original figure, meaning that option A is ruled out. Now let's look at option B. Right off the bat we can see that option B is missing a lot of key details, such as the big ring from the original figure. So option B is obviously ruled out. Now let's look at option C. Option C may look like the correct answer, but as we can see here, the distance between this point and the big ring is much shorter than the distance between this ring and the big ring. So let me just erase this marks so it's clear. As you can see, there's a bigger distance in the original figure when compared to option C. So option C is also ruled out. Now let's look at option D. Option D does not look like the correct answer because we are missing a dot here and the really small dot up in the corner from the original figure. So option D is also ruled out. Now if we look at option E, it is the last option remaining, so you guys might think that it's the correct answer, but it's always a good idea just to make sure. So we look closely, option E in this section, it has all the dots from the original figure and the colors are inverted. So that part of the section of option E is correct. Now this section, we have the same amount of dots from the original figure, which is correct. Now if we look from the distance from the ring to the small dot, we can see that the distance is the same from option E to the original figure, and the ring has inverted colors, meaning option E is the correct answer. So a tip for solving these types of problems would be to look at each figure by sections, like I did with option E. And don't just assume that the correct answer is the one remaining, because we might have made a mistake from the previous options. Now let's move on to question number 2. Alice draws a figure connecting the ladybirds in the order of increasing number of their dots. She starts with a ladybird with 1 dot. What figure will she get? Well, let's draw the entire figure and then compare our figure to the options. So from option 1 here we can see that option 1 will get connected to option 2 because in increasing order. Then from option 2 we will go to option 3. Then from number 3 we will go to number 4, and from number 4 we'll go to number 5. So our figure looks like this. Number A does not match our figure, so number A is ruled out. Letter B does not match our figure. Letter C does not. Letter D does match our figure, but we'll review that. We'll review letter E and then we'll come back to option D. So letter E does not look anything like our figure, meaning option D is the correct answer. Let's move on to number 3. Mary glued 4 raised stars like this. At least how many stars did she use? Now looking at this, it looks like a lot of points, meaning a lot of stars. But that's not the case here. If we notice closely, we can see, let me just change the color so it's easier to see. We can see that this point here is directly opposite to this point here. Meaning if we take, for example, this point right here, it will be directly opposite to this point right here. So if we count how many points there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 points in total. But that doesn't mean 7 is our answer, because we have the original star to count. So plus the 1 original star, we have 8 stars total. Now this may seem a little confusing, because what about all these points over here? Well, when we turn the star to get this point right here turns that way as well. And this point right here turns in the opposite direction of the point opposite to it. So same thing with this. When this point is over here, this point is over here. So a star, each points are opposite from each other in a 4-ray star like this. So option D is correct. Now let's move on to question number 4. It says, this pizza was cut into equal slices. How many slices have been taken? Well, if we look closely, we can see that 1/4 of the entire pizza is 3 pieces. So 1/4 of the pizza is equal to 3 pieces. Now, if we multiply by 4 to get one whole pizza, we can see that since we multiplied here by 4, we will have to do the same thing here. So you'll multiply by 4, and you get one whole pizza has 12 pieces in it. Now let's look how many remaining slices are there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 remaining slices. And we have 12 pieces in total. So to solve this problem, we will just do 12 minus 8 to give us 4 slices that have been taken. So 4 will be our answer. Now moving on to number 5. Number 5 says, how many kangaroos must be moved from one park to the other to get the same number of kangaroos in both parks? Well, we can see in park B we have about 4 kangaroos, and in park A we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 14 kangaroos. So the difference between 4 and 14 is 10. So we have 2 parks, so the way I would do it would just be divided by 2, and we would get 5. So if we move 5 kangaroos from park A, we would get plus 5 kangaroos in park B. So we would have 9 kangaroos total. And 14 minus 5 kangaroos would be 9 kangaroos in park A also, because we are taking 5 kangaroos and putting them in park B. So 9 would be the correct answer. Sorry, not 9. 5 would be the correct answer. See, sometimes we can get a little confused. They're not asking for the total number of kangaroos in both parks. They're asking how many kangaroos should be moved to get the same number of kangaroos in both parks. So 5 kangaroos need to be moved. Another simple way to do this would be to just take 1 kangaroo, subtract it, and just add 1 to this entire pile. We could just keep going like that when we have the same number of kangaroos in both parks. That way is a little time consuming, so I would not recommend it, but go with which way you feel comfortable. I feel comfortable going the speed and the fast way, but if you feel comfortable going that way, then go that way. Well, that would be it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching.